It's time for Harry Potter movie reviews, Part 1. Starting with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So this little boy is just walking through a train station alone with a caged owl, and everyone's like, yeah, sounds about right. When I was 6, I didn't know the difference between magic and just things that are different in different countries. I thought maybe owls really delivered the mail in England. Magic isn't the real fantasy of Harry Potter. It's waking up one day to find out that you're famous, rich, all the inherited golden Gringotts, the star quarterback, Quidditch seeker, own a sick car, Nimbus 2000, have a secret admirer, Invisibility Cloak, and get to cancel someone for being problematic, killing white professor who wears turban. It has always confused me how everyone recognizes Harry at the beginning of this movie. Like, he was a baby when he was picked up by Hagrid and Dumbledore, so there is no way anyone knew what he looked like, and the only telling sign is his scar. But again, only those two people knew he had it. So that leads me to the assumption that Dumbledore released a statement like, "We had to hide the kid for now, but don't worry, he has a dope scar on his forehead, so you'll recognize him when the time comes." How did that snake at the beginning wink at Harry when snakes don't have eyelids? I'm starting to think this movie isn't very scientifically accurate. Harry, I've never talked to a snake before. Get freaking used to it, lad. You'll be meeting Dumbledore in approximately half an hour. Dumbledore saying, assuming that my calculations are correct, as if this didn't know exactly how many points it would take for Gryffindor to surpass Slytherin and win the House Cup. I swear. Dumbledore, I care about all my students equally. Hogwarts is in danger. Oh my god, are the Gryffindors okay? Of course I love all houses equally. Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw. Every time I watch this, I think about the mind free I went through at age 7 in the cinema when I realized Hermione's name was not in fact pronounced Hermione like I had been pronouncing it in my head. Most of this movie just be Hagrid saying, I shouldn't have told you that. And that's totally fine. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a Harry wizard. I aspire to be as extra as Snape in his cape. Let's be real, the main reason Gen Z's aesthetic is dark academia is because we grew up reading and watching Harry Potter. When I was little, I had nightmares over that face coming out of the book in the library. It scared the crap out of me. Now I just think, I can't believe I was scared of that when I was little. Bought myself a Hufflepuff notebook purely so I can whip it out in public and act like I'm writing important things. But actually, I just want them to know how loyal and friendly I am as a Hufflepuff. My anxiety-ridden, people-pleasing, undiagnosed ADHD 8-year-old self really saw herself represented on screen when Hermione said being expelled was worse than dying. When I was 6, I had the biggest crush on Ron Weasley. Like, I would spend weeks planning our future wedding. I'm letting you guys know that my very first thought when I saw Draco for the first time was, wow, he has a really big forehead. I'm sorry, but I simply cannot take Draco seriously when he's just a little 11-year-old baby-faced gay with way too much pomade in his hair, trying to impress his crush by being extra mean to him. Pointed out how insane it is that you can probably pair any of these characters with each other and there will probably be fanfiction written about them somewhere, and my boyfriend looked at me and said, why do you say the things that you say? This TikTok lives rent-free in my head.
Once I make my move, then you're free to check the king. No, Ron, no! What is it? He's going to sacrifice himself. No, you can't! There must be another way! Do you want to stop Snape from getting that stone or not? Harry, it's you that has to go on. I know it. Not me, not Hermione, you.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. PG movies in 2018. Can't say damn if you'll be PG-13. PG movies in 2002. Yo guys, let's kill the cat, hang its body from the ceiling, and paint a message on the wall with its blood. Please, Hogwarts, invest in some magical security cameras or something. It would save y'all a whole lot of trouble. My 7-year-old self didn't expect young Voldemort to be so beautiful, and the realization led to many a moral crisis. Just imagining a young Tom Riddle trying to come up with anagrams to make himself sound cooler. When Hermione's polyjuice potion went wrong and she turned into a giant cat, my younger brother looked at me and said, "But I thought she was Beauty, not the Beast." I've never been more proud in my entire life. Would love a deleted scene of Professor Sprout casually dicing grown mandrakes while they scream. Most relatable character is the Mandrake, because I too long to scream for no reason and put Tom Felton's finger in my mouth. Ron probably could have had a solid career in Wizard NASCAR or Magical F1 because, gee whiz, can that 12-year-old literal child drive an automobile. This franchise would be nothing without Ron Weasley and his facial expressions. Something happens. Ginny's facial expression. If it weren't for Dobby, Ginny, and Hagrid in this movie, Harry wouldn't have been in any serious danger. And they're supposed to be the good guys. I feel like Dumbledore doesn't even try when it comes to picking a new defense against the dark arts teacher. He probably just spins a fortune wheel with names of equally unsuited people on it. The makers of this movie. So every spell, no matter which one, will all do the same thing and just blast someone backwards in the air, okay? Okay? Love how most of the spells are like Oculus Reparo and Lumus Maxima, and then there's one that's just eat slugs, and it works. Draco calling Harry Scarhead? Absolute sick burn. I stabbed my science textbook to see if it'd bleed, and now I have detention. To whomever decided to put the large bow in Lucius Malfoy's ponytail when he arrests Hagrid, I thank you for your service. That man was a fashion icon in his precious few minutes of screen time. So, we just gonna act like Draco's dad didn't just try to use the killing curse on an 11-year-old just for giving his annoying servant a sock? I love Dobby with my whole heart. Me and my friends would have killed Dobby with hammers, I can tell you that much. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The guy I like said this wasn't the best Harry Potter movie, so obviously I had to watch it with him and convert him into a Prisoner of Azkaban stan. Edit. We broke up, lol.
Mr. Weasley, why would I go looking for someone who wants to kill me?
Harry dear, that's your favorite extracurricular activity. Do they have a wizard prison for smaller crimes, or do they get sent to Azkaban for tax evasion too? I got distracted because of how amazing everybody's hair is in this one, in comparison to all the other films. When Hermione punched Malfoy in the face and then watched herself do it again, it's everything to me. I'm pretty sure the entire time travel subplot only exists so we get to watch Malfoy get punched in the face from 2 different angles. Hagrid teaching his first class ever. Launches an unwitting 13-year-old wizard icon into the freaking sky on the back of an extremely temperamental gigantic bird. Remus Lupin is the love of my life, and also so relatable. We both wear grandpa cardigans, both love Sirius Black, stressed, scruffy and poor, worry constantly, gay, the list goes on.
Sirius, be quiet!
Quiet yourself, Remus!
Listen to you two quarreling like an old married couple.
Harry off screen. Oh my god. These bitches gay. Good for them. What if I turned into a dog to keep you company when you transform, and we're both boys? Haha, just kidding. Unless when you hug your gay lover in the moonlight, but it's so he doesn't turn into a CGI werewolf to eat your godson. Draco really stepped up his flirting game in this one, huh? Sending a perfectly folded paper dove with a little Harry sketch on it in his crush's direction during class. Damn, he's a regular Romeo. Harry kissy kissy Dementors. Okay, but like, how do you work with Dementors? Like, how do you tell them to show up somewhere? Who do you talk to? Is there a head Dementor? Do they speak English? Can they tell time? Can they read maps? Can't believe Hermione only used that necklace for class before her and Harry use it together. She should have started some drama. Ron saying they'll have to chop his leg off because there's no way to save it is me whenever I get the most minor injury of all time. Bro, imagine being Ron, and there you are, 13, with a broken leg, realizing your pet rat is the reason your best friend's parents are dead. Anytime Sirius and Remus talk to Harry about James and Lily, I feel like I am being stabbed in the chest over and over again, literally collapsing and bleeding out all over the floor, coughing up blood on the brink of death. This movie ending in a freeze frame is the most 2000s thing to ever happen to the wizarding world. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. It all started when my convicted murderer godfather gave me a very fast broomstick. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Harry, you put your name in a Goblet of Fire.
Harry Potter and the Year Nobody Got a Haircut. The absolutely iconic versatility of this movie to give half the guys the worst haircuts and the other half the best. Cedric Diggory and Draco, my beloveds. And then weave jokes and petty high school drama with deadly attacks, and then go from a Christmas ball to a literal torture game show. Dumbledore. What activity would give the school together whilst also enriching the students' education? Teacher. An extremely dangerous tournament that requires children to risk their lives? Dumbledore. You freaking genius! Why are these grown-ass adult wizards tying children to the bottom of lakes? Go stop global warming or some shit. Wow, I can't wait to watch the Triwizard Tournament this year. I'm going to be sitting front row so I can see all the action. Stares at the empty sky for 30 minutes. Stares at the empty sea for an hour. Stares at some hedges for 3 hours. Like Harry Potter, I also procrastinate for weeks until someone just tells me the answers. Why is Fleur Delacour on the poster when all she's allowed to do in this film is say, "Baguette!" and faint? I realize this has nothing to do with the film, but the other day I went to McDonald's and their Employee of the Month was Robert Pattinson, and I realized it could just be someone with the same name, but also I was like, damn ma, king of being down to earth. Anyway, I love Cedric. Like Filch, I also would have rather danced with my cat at prom. The costume department had to sit down and collectively decide to dress two identical 6'4" red-headed twins in identical orange corduroy pants for God knows why. Baby Voldemort. They could have easily just not shown Voldemort's feet. Harry saw his friend die and Voldemort naked within the span of 5 minutes. Like, if I was him, I would remove my glasses and simply never put them on again. I freaking love that Crabbe and Goyle's fathers are Death Eater lackeys to Malfoy's father. Is being a lackey a genetic trait that can be passed down? Was it a career choice forced onto them from birth as a family tradition? Are you born a lackey, or do you choose to become one? So many questions.
Barty Crouch! Junior.
We don't talk enough about how Barty Crouch Jr. had to come up with lesson plans and teach dozens of horny, chaotic teens for a full school year as part of his scheme. Whenever I watch this, I think about that one video of Robert Pattinson not knowing Emma Watson's name and her getting so pissed about it. In the Lego game, when Cedric's dad sees his dead body, Dumbledore hands him instructions on how to assemble a Lego figure, and it's fantastic, and I couldn't stop thinking about it while I watched this. Watched this with my grandma, and she got a crush on Dumbledore. Thank you to everyone who suggested I do Harry Potter movie reviews, and thank you all for watching. The final 4 movies will be in a part 2 video at some point, definitely before the end of next month, so if you want to see that and you aren't subscribed, subscribing would be cool. Check out my channel, because I make a lot of different types of videos, and if you like hearing my voice, you can have hours of content to peruse on there. Have a wonderful day. I really appreciate you being here.